Chris Cottrell and Jeff Kelly with you as we get set for the Girls Western Conference Championship game here late on a Saturday afternoon. Our location, Western Nebraska Community College here at Cougar Palace. Let's meet the starters for the 13-3 Sidney Lady Raiders. Sophomore Laramie Missigatis, also junior Jordan Schnell, Kiara Schrader, a senior, Lily Weiser, starter number 4, a senior, and junior Reagan Nesbitt will round out the starting 5 for Sidney. Jeff Kelly's alongside. We're just about ready to meet the starters now for Gretna East, the Lady Griffins, led by head coach Wade Coulter. They are 12-5 off a 63-31 win over Gering yesterday. Sidney knocked off Scottsbluff 62-52. First starter introduced is Maggie Pfaff, a 5'7 senior. Sophia Lindsay, a 5'4 junior. 5'10 senior Taryn French. Justice Love, a 5'8 freshman. And Maddie Shelburne, their 5'10 junior post player. Jeff, we've seen Sidney so much over the years. We know what they're going to bring to the table. Gretna East is going to pressure the basketball in the full court, try to create some chaos, turnovers, and some runouts. We're expecting a good one today.
This pressure that Gretna East will bring, I'm sure Sidney will be able to handle it pretty well, and this is going to be a good matchup. But we're very impressed with what I saw from this Gretna East team yesterday in their win over Gering.
Gretna East, a Class B state title game appearance a year ago. 12-5 Gretna East, 13-3 Sidney Lady Raiders. Great to have you watching here on KNDB.TV on our YouTube channel. Opening tip is controlled by Sidney. They're in the road blacks, Gretna East in the home whites here for the Western Conference Championship game. Skip pass, near side, Schnell on the catch. Gretna East goes 2-3 zone defensively here on the first trip down. Schrader a high post catch. She'll take it, and Kiara Schrader banks it in to give Sidney the early 2-0 lead. Sophia Lindsay on the far side. Ball goes into the corner. Now up top Shelburne. Justice Love yesterday had 12 points. There's a deep ball and a 3 from Maddie Shelburne. Shoots it at 43%. Haven't seen her too much from long range this weekend. And here's the pressure. Sidney creates a little bit of an opportunity in transition. Offensive rebound. Reagan Nesbitt grabs the miss and gets it up and in for 2. Sidney leads 4-3. 3 possessions total, 3 baskets from these two Class B foes here today. Shelburne to Taryn French. French has the green light, as does Lindsay. That 3 off the mark. Ball loose on the floor, picked up by Shelburne in the paint. And Maddie Shelburne has the first 5 points of the game for Gretna East. We've played a minute 20 and it's 5-4.
Sidney not having a lot of trouble with the Gretna East pressure as Schnell gets it across.
Again, Gretna East goes zone. They saw Scottsbluff have plenty of success with the zone against Sidney last night, and they've come out and done the same thing. Lily Weiser on the shot fake, dumps it underneath. It goes to Reagan Nesbitt. Her layup won't go in traffic. Ball loose on the floor. Touch last by Sidney. It'll go to the Lady Griffins. Gretna East and their head coach Wade Coulter. Their losses this year have come to Omaha Westside, Norris twice, Oakland Craig, and Bennington. They've got wins this weekend against Descent Academy, and last night they beat Gering. Underneath, we'll get a whistle and a foul on Lily Weiser, fouling Maggie Pfaff. That'll send the Gretna East 5'7 senior to the foul line. 5-4. Gretna East has the lead here in the opening quarter. We've played basically 2 minutes, 6:02 to go in the first. Pfaff at the stripe, connects on the first. She's a 73% free throw shooter on the season.
See if Justice Love for the Griffins can get going. As we said, she had a big game yesterday in the win over Gering.
7-4 lead, and here comes the pressure in the full court after the made free throws. Weiser throws it far side to Schnell. She'll turn middle, bounce pass along the baseline. Laramie Missigatis had a great game last night for Sidney against Scottsbluff. Schnell, Schrader, the O board. Sidney doing a good job on the glass offensively, but they can't convert. Transition, run out, bucket on the fast break. Justice Love the finish, and a little spurt here. A 6-0 run for Gretna East, and they lead it 9-4. They will send 4 subs to the scorer's table. Schrader unloads a three-point shot. It won't go. The offensive rebound to Laramie Missigatis, and Sidney's missed some bunnies here in the early going. Justice Love leaves it along the baseline, and for Gretna East, that'll be their first turnover of the game. Schnell has got French defending. Foul's going to go against Taryn French, and that'll send Jordan Schnell, a junior, to the line for Sidney.
Sidney giving Gretna East a little bit of their own medicine, streaking down the floor after that rebound.
And Schnell at the line, a 50. The starters for Sidney at the line shoot 52, 52, 57, 42, and 66. It's not a strength for the Lady Raiders, and you'd expect this one to be close if you're Sidney trying to win it late, and free throws could be key. A couple of misses there from Jordan Schnell. Taryn French has it, gives it off to Wadsworth. Heather Wadsworth, a 5'9 senior's checked in. Also into the game, Lily Frederick. You've got the 5'11 freshman, Elaine Graver, on the floor. Taylor LaRock as well, the lone starter that stayed, is Taryn French. Frederick. They get French up top, now left side. Out high with it is Frederick. Lily Frederick being hounded there by Laramie Missigatis. Wadsworth spins into the paint. It comes outside to French. That's off the front of the iron. Rebound comes off long. Grabbing it off the floor is Laramie Missigatis. Missigatis had her shot blocked by Graver, and they'll get Graver on the foul. So that'll send Laramie Missigatis to the free throw line. She had 17 points last night in a really good game and a win for Sidney as they beat Scottsbluff 62-52. And Missigatis hits the first.
On that break, Missigatis had Jordan Schnell on that left side. Might have been there for a quick layup.
Missigatis connects on both. She's a 66% shooter.
Sidney not afraid to get out and run with this Gretna East team early in this one.
Taryn French, the crossover dribble, gets rid of it to Wadsworth. She holds it. Now into the left corner, Taylor LaRock. On the catch, Taryn French. French has Schnell defending. Schnell had the assignment last night on Ava Reed, so they have clearly identified French as the must stop, and she gets an open look, the three-point shot. She was red hot to begin the game against Descent Academy on Thursday. Came out cold to start yesterday, and the same thing, the outside shot has not been there in the early going here for Taryn French. 9-6 the score. It'll stay with Gretna East off the miss. Ball went out of bounds, touched last by Sidney. Love drives it into the paint. The left-handed layup won't go, and Chloe Schrader has it in the backcourt. Sidney can't handle the pressure. They turn it over, and a bucket for Sophia Lindsay off the first Sidney turnover. Schnell throws it near side to Taylor Springer. Springer had it knocked out of her hands. Sidney coughs it up for a second straight time. In transition. Good defensive work that time. And then underneath, was that Elaine Graver?
Yeah, it was Elaine Graver. Gretna East putting a little space between them and Sidney. Sidney doing all they can as they're being aggressive going to the basket. We saw right there from Jordan Schnell.
Sidney needed a hoop. They get one to cut the deficit to 5. It's 13-8. Graver holds on the perimeter. She'll get it underneath to Lindsay. Turnaround shot in traffic. Soft touch off the iron. It bounces up and through for Sophia Lindsay. The lead is 15-8. Chloe Schrader, a little penetration. The kick in the corner to Taylor Springer, and she walked with it. Jeff, we saw it yesterday, and now even Sidney getting sped up by this Gretna East pressure.
And like I said, Sidney getting a little bit of their own medicine as we see 4 go out, 4 come in for Gretna East. They're a deep team, but they have done a good job speeding Sidney up here in the first quarter.
2:40 to play. Gretna East basketball with a 7-point lead. Lindsay to Love. Now out of the corner with it. They'll move it around to the right side out high. Justice Love on the catch. The freshman fires the 3. It won't go. Lindsay gives the effort play, trying to keep it in bounds. Could not do it. And it'll go back to the Lady Raiders with 2:25 to play here in the opening quarter. Western Conference Girls Championship game. Nesbitt throws it ahead, and we'll get a reach-in foul called on Justice Love. The 5'6" freshman whistled for her first personal.
Seeing a little bit of hesitation that time for Sidney on that pressure from Gretna East.
Misigatis drives it, the ball across the timeline, stops on a dime, and they'll set up some offense. Right corner 3, missing everything short, ball loose, and Gretna East looking to run. Shelburne gives it up to French. French started middle, comes back left, finds Love, the baseline cutter. It rolls off on the shot. Offensive rebound to Lindsay, and again, soft touch. It bounces off the iron and drops through for Sophia Lindsay, and Gretna East leading 17-8 here against Sidney in the first quarter. And another turnover. Nope, they're going to give Tyler Shaw the timeout before the pass was made, and that prevented a steal and a layup opportunity. 142, and quite frankly, Jeff, Sidney's, I'm sure Tyler Shaw hoping they can take a deep breath. They've got to regroup a little bit.
Looked like on that last play before the timeout, Kiara Schrader kind of put his shoulder into, I don't know if it was Justice Love or it might have been Sophie Lindsay, just put the shoulder into her. I'm surprised they didn't call that foul, but yeah, exactly. I mean, Sidney, as we said, getting sped up a little bit, and Sidney trying as hard as they can to beat the Gretna East pressure down the floor.
Already for Gretna East, they've had 4 players score in this opening quarter. Lindsay's got 6. Shelburne would make it 5 because Graver got that bucket on the garbage play underneath off a miss. So they've had 5 score. And Sidney, they've had 4 players score 2 points apiece. 1:42 to play. And Sidney will lob the ball inbounds to Jordan Schnell. Schnell looks near side. On the catch, Ryland Misigatis, and Sidney coughs it up. Their 4th turnover. Taylor LaRock has it. We'll get a reach-in foul, a push, in fact, the whistle and the signal from the official, and that'll go against Ryland Misigatis. Limited minutes last night. She's been returning from injury slowly but surely, and immediately onto the floor here in the first quarter today. Justice Love, boy, nice move. Got 2 defenders to bite on a little head and shoulder fake, and Justice Love with the hoop to make it 19-8. Ryland Misigatis did not have her head turned back looking for the basketball on the pass from Reagan Nesbitt. Sidney lucky that they did not turn it over there. Out of bounds. Lady Raiders inbound. 1:12 to play here in the first half. 19-8 the score. It's the 2-3 look right now from Gretna East. Laramie Misigatis drives it to the rim. Left her feet about probably 6 to 8 feet away from the bucket. And bailed out with the foul call. That'll go on Maddie Shelburne, her first personal.
Kind of uncharacteristic from Sidney. And the last time they almost turned the ball over as Misigatis had her back turned on the pass from Reagan Nesbitt.
Sidney now 2 for 5 at the line in the first half. We've gotten used to the substitution patterns from Tyler Shaw over the years. Man, Wade Coulter not afraid to go 4 or 5 at a time for Gretna East with their depth. Misigatis misses both. And the ball goes out of bounds, touched last by Sidney. And Gretna East will get it back, leading by 11 already here with 1 minute to play in the first quarter. Lindsay brings it across the timeline. Their junior point guard, Lindsay, Has Missigatis defending. Lindsay still on the dribble, still on the attack, and reaching in, forcing the tie-up. Sidney forces the jump ball. Possession arrow keeps it with Gretna East. 47 seconds to play in the first quarter. 19-8 lead for the Griffins. Graver to Love. She'll look into the paint to get it to Wadsworth. Wadsworth walked with it. Second turnover on Gretna East. 40 seconds to play. Sidney needs a bucket here in the worst of ways. And you've got to handle the pressure before you can get the bucket. They operate in the backcourt. Weiser, good job getting it to the middle of the floor to Schnell. And Schnell will have a reach-in foul called against Gretna East.
Foul on number 24. Justice Love, her second.
So for Justice Love, she picks up her second personal, and Jordan Schnell hits the free throw. 3 for 7 at the line for Sidney now. Schnell 1 for 3. Shelburne will replace Wadsworth.
And Maddie Shelburne.
Schnell hits both. For all the players, Gretna East will rotate in and out of this ball game. Of their top 10 or so, they're only going to lose 3 seniors out of this group. Shot clock off, game clock at 15 seconds as Gretna East will play for the final shot of the first quarter. Lindsay, bounce pass, knocked away, and a foul reaching around from the backside that time. They'll give the call or the foul to Reagan Nesbitt.
Lindsay able to handle the ball very well for Gretna East.
4th team foul, so no free throws. Inbounds pass to Shelburne. They'll try and free up French off a screen. Open look out of the corner. Would not go. Offensive rebound, Shelburne. They play through a little contact right there. After one, Gretna East leading Sidney in the Western Conference girls title game 19-10 on the Rural Radio Network.
Are you tired of being tired? Sweet Dream Sleep in Gering is ready to help you wake up feeling refreshed. Dr. Brittany Meyer provides consultation for both children and adults to identify sleep disorders such as sleep apnea, insomnia, periodic limb movement, and more. Dr. Meyer and her nurse practitioner manage treatment with follow-ups using in-person office visits and telemedicine to navigate insurance requirements. No referral is necessary. Sweet Dream Sleep Services. Better sleep, better health.
And welcome back to Western Nebraska Community College. Second quarter action, the girls' championship game, and Gretna East leads it 19-10. The Red Raiders with the ball to start this second quarter, going against zone defense from Gretna East. Schnell bobbles the ball. Missigatis with it. Bounce into the corner. 3 ball comes up short for Missigatis. Battle for the rebound, the loose ball corralled by Sidney as they work it down inside to Kiara Schrader. And that foul will be on. An offensive foul, that'll be on Kiara Schrader. She got the hook as she went to the basket. That'll be her first. And at the Gretna East end, here's Lily Frederick driving, has it stolen away. And Sidney comes the other way. Schnell in the backcourt, double team. Sidney will finally get it across. Put it into the corner, Lily Weiser. Top of the key to Kiara Schrader. Nesbitt can't score. And quickly the other way, here comes the Griffins. Taryn French, deep three ball, and Taryn French, the 5'10 senior, with a three from beyond the college arc. And it's now a 12-point Gretna East lead. Turnover at the Sidney end, streaking down the floor. Sophie Lindsay, but nice hustle by Laramie Missigatis as she knocks it away. And Sidney has it. And Larson almost has it stolen away. They kick it out. Three ball on the way. That won't fall through for Kiera Schrader. And we will keep it at the Sidney end as Maggie Pfaff checking back in. And Heather Wadsworth back in. Here's Taylor LaRock. Inbound for the Red Raiders. Out on top. Laramie Missigatis drives an off-balance shot as Missigatis goes to the floor.
We saw it last night, Jeff. Scottsbluff went zone almost exclusively after the early going midway through that first quarter, and they just dared Sidney to make some outside shots, and it kept him in the game for a long, long time. Missigatis off the mark on the first, and Gretna East has come out. They're into 2-3. Scottsbluff played a lot of 2-1-2, but they're challenging Sidney to make some outside shots also today, clogging it up in the paint.
Taylor Springer into the Sidney lineup for the first time as second free throw by Missigatis falls through. That makes it 22-11. And we will have a traveling call as Sophie Lindsay turns it over. They'll give it right back to Sidney. Chloe Schrader in for Sidney. Pressure from Gretna East. Springer in the backcourt. Schrader with it, picked up by LaRock, and the pressure causes a Sidney turnover as Chloe Schrader steps on the sideline.
Caught it and turned right towards the sideline where you said yesterday that sideline becomes an extra defender. For Sidney, that's their sixth turnover. Feels like more, but I've got them for 6 so far in this half.
Taylor French out front with it. Finds Wadsworth. Kick it back out. French for three. That falls through. Back-to-back threes for Taryn French in this second quarter. And it's now 25-11. Larson in the backcourt gets it ahead to Springer. So they break the Gretna East pressure. Nesbitt will drive baseline. And Nesbitt stepping on the end line as the Gretna East head coach Wayne Coulter sporting the nice black and gold sweater, the Argyle. 5.5 minutes left, first half. Taryn French on the bounce, Maggie Pfaff. Left side, Wadsworth with it. LaRock to French to the free throw line, takes it into the paint, tries to go off balance. That shot won't fall. Larson gets it ahead, Springer into the corner to Missigatis. Gretna East defense getting back. Laramie Missigatis drives baseline, step back won't fall, battle for the rebound as Weiser and Wadsworth tie it up. Possession arrow will give it to the Gretna East Griffins. Justice Love, Lily Frederick back in for the Griffins.
Back to Coach Coulter. He was a loud dresser on Thursday with yellow pants. Yesterday was kind of in the middle, and we're going really sharp here today for Championship Saturday with that look.
Here's Gretna East with it, Pfaff, Wadsworth, Justice Love, right side to the free throw line. As they work it left side, Taryn French. Driving into the paint, the runner by Pfaff won't go. The rebound will go out, and it will stay with Gretna East. Sophia Lindsay and Elaine Graver back in. Gretna East on the toss in, on the inbounds. They get it to Graver, who just checked into the game. And Graver puts it up and in. 27-11 our score. Weezer gets it to Missegatus, and she puts up a shot. Chloe Schrader puts up a shot. And she will draw the foul.
Jeff, Sidney's got to stay within striking distance here.
Yep,
16-point game right now.
The lead is starting to stretch out for the Griffins. Chloe Schrader.
Back to coaching attire. I've never confirmed with Coach Shaw that this is the case, but it seems like his tie selection, he chooses a color of the opponent most days.
There you go. Schrader, perfect from the line that time. 27-13 with 4 minutes left in the first half. Justice Love on the bounce. Graver, they'll kick it out. 3-ball on the way. That's too strong from Wadsworth. And Sidney comes down with the rebound. Long down court pass. And Justice Love there. Sidney was lucky that one got knocked out of bounds. That could have been picked off by Justice Love. She's just a freshman.
So's Graver.
Yeah.
Both are out. Love is already really good. Graver is going to be outstanding. She knew where she was going to make that last pass before she even had it in her hands.
Here's Chloe Schrader on the Sidney side. Her 3-ball doesn't go. There's a good rebound from Reagan Nesbitt, as she had good position that time. And Sidney making a little bit of a run here. The kick to the left side, Justice Love into the corner. Maddie Shelburne driving, puts up the shot. It rolls off. And Kiara Schrader can't corral the rebound, and Tyler Shaw looking up at the lights, as usually his team's able to come down with those rebounds, but that time it not the case. Baseline toss in out on top, Maggie Pfaff. Wadsworth in the corner. Sophie Lindsay drives, dishes out on top, quick ball movement. Driving down the right lane line. Heather Wadsworth with her first points of the game.
Just pretty basketball right there on the offensive end from Gretna East, making the extra pass, and they get the bucket, and now a turnover.
On the run out, and a layup by Lindsay, count it, and she's fouled. And that will put Sophie Lindsay at the free throw line. And this lead is starting to get stretched out. And a timeout on the floor, a full timeout. We'll take it with them. 31-15, Gretna East leads it. And you're watching this on the Rural Radio Network.
Just a beautiful hospital. It's the home to exceptional patient care. This is where specialty clinics meet your needs. This is where a friendly smile, a warm hand, and an empathetic ear exist to care for you. This is us. Box Butte General Hospital. Great things are happening here.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
Welcome back to Cougar Palace. Day 3 of this Western Conference tournament. And you're watching the girls' championship game, Gretna East and Sidney. And a 9-4 run by the Griffins. They lead it 31-15. Out of the timeout, Sophie Lindsay will be at the free throw line. Trying to complete the three-point play. She can't do so. And Sidney down with it. They get into the offensive end. Reagan Nesbitt gets it to Laramie Missegatus. Her drive cut off baseline. Jordan Schnell with it. As they work it to the left side against this Gretna East zone defense. Missegatis on the wing, right side. Continues to hold. They play catch with out front. Now Jordan Schnell driving. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. 3 ball from Missegatis. Won't fall. And here comes Gretna East. So near 2 minutes left in the first half. Lindsay bounces. Shelburne with it. Low block, puts up the shot. Doesn't go. Rebound tipped out of there. And Springer had it for just a minute. We have a whistle and a foul down low. And that foul will be on. That will be a first foul on Sophie Lindsay. And full court pressure from the Griffins. See how they handle it this time as the inbounds pass tipped. Kiera Schrader with it. Now Sidney will get it across into the hands of Schrader, and Schrader travels with the ball. And some uncharacteristic turnovers from this Sidney team.
9 of them so far in this first half.
The Griffins will operate up 31-15. Pfaff with it in the corner. Shelburne pops out into the corner. Sophie Lindsay with it. Wadsworth now on the right side for the Griffins. Lindsay, good defense this time by Sidney. They work it inside. Shelburne, the turnaround, too strong. Sidney quickly the other way. Larson gets it ahead. Laramie Missegatis. Lily Weiser starts to drive baseline, cut off there by Wadsworth to get it back into the corner. And an errant pass that's tipped away. It'll stay with Sidney as Taryn French got a hand on it. Taylor LaRock and Lily Frederick back into the Gretna East lineup.
Just 5 points in this second quarter, Jeff, for Sidney.
That's an aberration also. Reagan Nesbitt in the corner. They'll go cross court. Lily Weiser with it. Inside to Nesbitt. Jordan Larson with it. Shot clock winding down, and Jordan Larson with 1 second left on the shot clock puts it up and in. 31-17. Wadsworth on the right side with it. LaRock. Shelburne puts it on the deck, splits defenders, and almost tied up, but they'll get into the hands of Maggie Pfaff. And Pfaff with the basket. So we count it down here in the first half. Pressure. Sidney gets it ahead to Nesbitt, but then her pass stolen away by Shelburne, and Shelburne on the run out. And there was a little push from behind from Jordan Schnell that the officials didn't call. And Shelburne makes it 35-17, and another turnover at the Sidney end. Shelburne once again, 7 seconds left, now 6. Shelburne dumps it down low to Lindsay. She can't score it, and the ball's stolen away, but Sidney won't be able to do anything with it. And we go to halftime here in the girls' championship game. And your score, it's Gretna East 35 and Sidney 17.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
You deserve to have a building that will last for generations. With more than 110 years of experience and thousands of satisfied customers, Morton Buildings is the industry leader you can trust. If you're planning for a garage, farm shop, horse barn, storage building for your RV, boat, or collectibles, there's no better time to buy. Contact your local Morton sales office or visit mortonbuildings.com to get started today.
Chris Cottrell back with you at halftime. KDB.TV on our YouTube channel. Halftime score of the Western Conference Girls Championship game. It is Gretna East in complete control, leading Sidney. They're up on the Lady Raiders 35-17. Pleased to be joined now by Dave Collins. You might know him as the voice of the Chadron State Eagles. Dave, it's been a minute, man. It's great to see you.
I'll tell you what, yeah, it's been a while, Chris. I tune in every now and then, get to catch your broadcast, so I don't feel like I'm too far from you guys in the high school game here being up in Chadron, but it is so good to be back to see you, and thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, you betcha. Sporting the Gretna East gear. I could explain it. Why don't you explain the Gretna East angle and why you're supporting the Griffins here today?
Well, my niece plays for Gretna East, Taryn French, and so exciting to see them come to our side of the state to be able to play a little basketball and see how things are out in the Panhandle. So, yeah, family over everything, you know. I'm all Panhandle other than games like today. It's kind of like you said before we jumped on the air, a double win for me. I get to see Sidney, and I get to see my niece in Gretna East. So, but yeah, it's a Griffins day for me.
Yeah, before Dave got to Chadron State to be the voice of the Eagles, he was with KSID and Randy Brown and Sidney and Hunter Arterburn and that group. What a group you guys had rolling through there at that time. So, yeah, I called it a Dave Collins special. You've got your Griffins gear on, but you get to see Sidney today also.
Yeah.
How about this first half? Did you expect this with a Tyler Shaw coach team?
Absolutely not. No, I mean, Gretna East's a good team. I knew Sidney's a good team. 35-17, I would not expect that with Coach Shaw getting his 350th win, by the way, yesterday. Congratulations to Tyler. It was awesome. I ran into him before the game yesterday here at the gym. I was able to visit with him a little bit. Always good to catch up with him, but I knew the press would be tough for Sidney to handle, that the trapping, the pressing. Gretna East is so good on defense, but Sidney's inside game I thought would give a little bit more to them, and maybe in the second half it will, but to see a score at this point, 35-17. Surprising, but I wouldn't count Sidney out of it just yet. They'll come up with something with Coach Shaw.
They can make runs. They can. One thing that's just really surprised me is how sped up Gretna East has gotten Sidney in this ball game. They've really got him out of whack.
That's what they'll do. They'll turn you over. They'll speed you up. Obviously, with Taryn playing on East, we watch a lot of the games on a video stream and get a chance to see them play some pretty good teams out in eastern Nebraska. And they do this to a lot of people. They get you out of what you want to do, take you out of your rhythm, force you to turn it over, get scores in their favor early, and try to maintain that pressure to get the game over with early.
I know life has changed a bit for you since you were covering the high school beat out here in the Panhandle. Married, kid, CSC. So you're busy. How plugged in do you try to stay to Nebraska high school sports?
I will always have a fond spot for Nebraska high school sports. I love it. I still do morning sports reports on the stations that I work with out of Chadron. So I do a lot of, obviously, scores and keeping tabs on those type of things, try to make state tournaments when I can, and those type of things. So obviously I can't be as involved as I would like to be. Traveling and with all the Eagles teams takes a lot of time away from me. Like you said, wife and kid now enter the equation. So those things change things, but I try to watch as much as I can and certainly keep a beat on what's going on.
What was it like? I'm sure you were there at the state tournament last year to watch Taryn. What was it like being back at a Nebraska State? You know what? Does anybody do high school sports at the state championship better than Nebraska?
It is amazing. I've always loved how our state embraces high school sports and embraces championship-level high school sports at the state level, whether it's Grand Island in volleyball when we've been there, or Lincoln in basketball, volleyball, football, whatever. It's incredible. The atmosphere is always so awesome. I love, especially back when I was here covering games with the Panhandle, when our teams would make the state tournament, everybody goes. Yeah. The entire town shuts down, and it's an incredible atmosphere, and I always loved being a part of that. It's fun to see it on the side watching East take on some of the teams as well, too. But there's a special feeling when you come from western Nebraska. It's such a huge event, and we travel so far that it becomes something more special as opposed to I'm knocking off work at noon just to go to the state game.
Yeah. when I think about the Bridgeport girls and their run these last few years, 4 straight years or whatever it wound up being, it was almost like literally last person out of town, turn the power out, let's save on the utility bill for the city of Bridgeport. I mean, everyone was there.
Yeah, it's incredible. It really is kind of like everybody packs up and goes. Doors are locked, lights are off. We'll see you on, Sunday or Monday when it's all over, and hopefully with gold medals around the neck and a state championship.
Got to ask you about what it was like covering the Eagles football season. Quite the bounce-back year and then some into the national playoffs. How much fun was it?
It was so much fun this year. Coming off a 3-8 season, a lot of questions coming in. The defense we knew would be really, really good. Just a matter of can the offense catch up this year. Brought in some transfers that all really hit and worked well. The returning guys, they bought in. They worked hard in the offseason. Coach Long and his staff did a great job, and it was so fun at the end of the year, especially to knock off teams like a Western Colorado who become a premier RMAC power. We had CSU Pueblo beat down there in overtime. Unfortunately, couldn't hang on to it in a wild game, and then to go to Pittsburgh, Kansas, and the jungle at the field out there in Pitt, Kansas, where it is difficult for anybody to play, and be right there in the end with a chance to win. It was a special team, a special group, and a highly enjoyable season to get those 8 wins and go to the playoffs.
I'm curious, the landscape of college sports, it's the wild, wild west.
Yeah.
How much has that filtered down to the Division II level from what you know or what you've seen?
Yeah, it's a great question, Chris. We get some of that trickle down slower. It is coming more in our direction, NIL and eligibility type of things. Not nearly like we have at the Division I level, I think, which is part of what makes D2 and Chadron State and the RMAC so enjoyable to do, because it is a lot about the game and the playing for your teammates in your school, as opposed to finding who's going to give you the biggest bag of money or things in that nature. I love covering D2 and being part of Chadron State, and we'll see more of it. Unfortunately, I think some of the stuff that we don't like as much maybe in D1 that's gotten out of control. There's no guardrails. It's sort of the Wild West. Hopefully they can get that corralled a little bit and at least get some regulations in place. But it's been fun at Chadron State.
What a year for your Denver Broncos.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know if you were going to bring it up. I know you're a big Chiefs guy.
It's all good. We've won a bunch. I mean, I can handle things.
I went to the game on Christmas night in Arrowhead. I got my first Arrowhead experience. It wasn't
fun. Quite the experience it could have been.
For me it was because the Broncos won.
How cold was it?
It was like 60.
Oh yeah,
it was incredible.
Right.
It was one of those unseasonably mild nights, so it was really enjoyable. Fans were great, despite having all my Bronco stuff on. Taryn was there, Uncle Trav, Taryn's dad. We're all watching the game here today. We all went that Christmas night out there visiting. Great season. I wish we had kicked that field goal to go up 10-0. I think it could have been a different ball game, but I don't know. It's one that Sean Payton didn't feel like, I guess.
Hey, and the Rockies are at least making some off-season moves here.
I like the Willie Castro pickup. I think it's a super under-the-radar pickup.
Great pickup.
Great pickup. Guy can play everywhere. He's a high-energy guy, clubhouse guy, switch hitter. Yeah, it's a good low-key pickup.
It is.
I think things higher up on the food chain of that franchise need to happen or change their philosophies to become a contender, but baby steps from where we were last summer will work.
Had to end on a little bit of just, a lighter note. So, hey, Dave Collins, voice of the Chadron State Eagles, down here supporting Gretna East and his niece today. Dave, great to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the second half of basketball. I'm guessing you'll go out for some food with the family. You probably won't watch the boys' game, but if you do.
We're staying for the boys' game.
Oh, it should be.
Absolutely.
Should be a dandy, man.
Yeah.
Matchup of the state tournament first round from last year should be great.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for it. It's going to be exciting, and appreciate you having me on, Chris. You do an incredible job for KNEB. I always enjoy tuning in and catching your broadcast when I can, so keep up the good work, and happy you invited me on today. I was glad we could do this.
Thanks a bunch, Dave. Enjoyed the second half.
All right, thank you.
You bet. And with that, we're just about ready for the second half. 10 minutes goes in a hurry.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Get back to the family and have some fun.
You got it. Have a good call.
Yep, appreciate you. 35-17. Thanks a lot, Dave. 35-17 as we get ready for half number 2, and a half that is going to have to start on a positive note here for the Sidney Lady Raiders, Jeff, trailing by 18. And it's not something that Tyler Shaw or these young ladies have had to deal with a whole lot in their careers down this margin in a big game.
Yeah, it had to be kind of a different conversation in the halftime locker room with Tyler Shaw trying to figure out the solution to this Gretna East team.
It'll be Sidney basketball for the Lady Raiders. Jordan Schnell leads them in scoring with 6. A balanced attack. 7 have scored for Gretna East. Sophia Lindsay, their point guard, has 8 to lead the Lady Griffins. First trip down. Sidney up top, right side on the wing. Gretna East stays zone. Nesbitt throws back outside. Up top, Schnell. Now Weiser. They're going to need buckets and stops in conjunction with one another. This Gretna East team can score in a hurry. Weiser, shot clock at 10. Schnell, Schrader. There's a triple. You got to start somewhere, and Sidney does on their first possession of the second half. 3 ball from Kiera Schrader to make it a 15-point game. Shelburne kicks it out. Lindsay answers right back from downtown. Sophia Lindsay's got 11, first player for either team in double figures. Lily Weiser, quick shot on the other end. Will get a tie-up. Possession arrow will give it to Gretna East. That's tough. You get the 3 to get the vibes up, and then you can't get out and check Sophia Lindsay, and she buries it.
And Gretna East comes right back and answers that one, and it was a no-doubter from Sophia Lindsay, and she's got the ball out front right now.
Shelburne in the corner, gives to Lindsay. Lindsay dribbles out of the corner, now French up top. Taryn French had 6 in the first half. Left corner 3, Maddie Shelburne. So 6-3 start to the second half for Gretna East, and they've extended now to a 21-point lead. They'll throw the high lob across the court to Reagan Nesbitt. Schnell finds a cutter at the foul line. Schrader found the opening. Good looking open shot, couldn't get it. Offensive rebound. Sidney has got to get those. 2 opportunities on the O boards, can't get either. They get a third offensive rebound. Shot clock resets. Weiser. Misigatis. Good ball movement. Corner 3 will not go for Lily Weiser, but another offensive rebound. That's the tricky part about the zone. Always going to be tougher to grab boards out of it. Weiser. And here come 4 subs at the next dead ball for Gretna East. Dribbling it off her knee, off a deflection. A Sidney turnover. That's their first of the half. I had Sidney with 7 turnovers in the second quarter. They had 11 in the first half. Very uncharacteristic from the Lady Raiders, and they find themselves trailing by 21 points here. Still fairly early in this third quarter.
It's got to be a little frustrating for Sidney. They had about 4 or 5 opportunities at their end and just not able to score the basket.
Taylor LaRock is checked in. Elaine Graver out of the corner. Up top it goes to Heather Wadsworth, the senior. Graver holds. Now Wadsworth on the right wing. Near the right corner. Frederick. Wadsworth drives it off the wing into the paint. Aggressive take to the bucket for 2 and a foul. Gretna East has come west and is shredding the Western Conference tournament.
Just as a strong move to the hole by Heather Wadsworth. And Reagan Nesbitt with 2 personal fouls.
2 strong from Wadsworth. Lindsay, the O board. She's fouled from behind, I believe, by Laramie Misigatis. And that'll put 5'4" junior guard Sophia Lindsay at the stripe. First personal on Laramie Misigatis. 2 free throws coming for Sophia Lindsay. Connects on the first. She's got 12 points this afternoon. Boys Championship game will wrap things up for the weekend here for the Western Conference tournaments. Gretna East and Scotts Bluff a little bit later on. Pure at the line on those 2 for Sophia Lindsay. It is all Gretna East. They are up by 25 and been dominant in the process. Schnell brings it across the timeline. Jordan Schnell jump stop. Pass to the far wing. Now it's Laramie Misigatis on the miss. Graver the rebound, and she threw it away in transition. Gretna East with their 5th turnover of the game is all. It comes here in the third quarter. Misigatis on the catch. Drives it to the foul line. Cut off there by Frederick. Up top, Weiser. Now Schnell. Bounce it back to Lily Weiser. They give her the 3. She'll take it. She'll knock it down.
first points for Lily Weiser.
22-point deficit. And they'll probably continue to play to that same scouting report again if Weiser's that wide open. I'd imagine that'll be just fine with Gretna East, as this zone has done exactly what they've wanted it to do so far today. We get a whistle and a foul. That'll go on, I think, Lindsay.
Kara Schrader.
13 foul on the Raiders.
Oh, yeah, opposite 12, Kiara Schrader. Taryn French will inbound, baseline out of bounds situation here for Gretna East. Wadsworth, and now Frederick. And we'll get a whistle and an offensive foul well away from the basketball. That's going to go on Elaine Graver. Graver has picked up 3 personals in fairly limited minutes off the bench. The lead is 22 right now for Gretna East. They have not been tested this weekend. High on the dribble. Chloe Schrader handles. She'll float the pass to Taylor Springer. Look how quickly everybody is moving in this zone. Nightmare to deal with. Open look, Rylan Misigatis. Just not much of a rhythm here today coming off the bench. Misses twice so far in this possession. Chloe Schrader fouled on the shot. Might say it's on the floor. We'll see.
Last couple of shot selections by Sidney, probably not what Tyler Shaw would want to see, but trying to do everything they can to cut into this big deficit by the Griffins.
Graver called for her 4th inbounds pass. Taylor Springer can't knock down the triple from the left corner. And a reach-in foul is going to go against Sidney. Called against Rylan Misigatis. That'll be her 2nd, 4th team foul already here in this 3rd quarter. On the Lady Raiders, Taryn French handles it for Gretna East. French to Wadsworth. LaRock was open for a moment. Gives it up to Wadsworth. Good ball movement, driving it into the paint. Losing it, it goes right to French. She whips a one-handed pass to LaRock. She throws it cross court. Wadsworth steps into a 3. Missed that one badly off the square. Sidney, a rare opportunity to maybe get out in transition. Misigatis fumbled the pass for just a moment. And then Lily Frederick running her down from behind. Got a touch and the ball goes out of bounds. It will stay with Sidney, but could not get out in transition for an easy basket there as Gretna East was hustling back on the defensive end. Inbounds pass came right to Reagan Nesbitt. She was going to go up for a shot and had it knocked away from behind.
Just quick hands from Lily Frederick that time.
Jordan Schnell plays it in to Springer. Springer to Chloe Schrader. A lot of talking defensively from Gretna East. They stay in the zone. Chloe Schrader can't score it on the drive to the bucket. Here comes Maddie Shelburne, their post player, leading the break. Nice look underneath, and Maggie Pfaff got the assist that time from Sophia Lindsay, and a turnover in the backcourt, and Sidney has been taken apart at the seams here so far. 2:43 to play, all Gretna East 47-23. The margin is bigger than Sidney's points scored in this one. Justice Love was open for a moment, passed on the 3. It'll come back up top to Taryn French. Shelburne, now Love. She walked with it.
Yeah, I thought she took a step back there.
She did, and that's been, she gives you that false step back and then explodes off the dribble. That's been a nice move for her. That time she just kind of took that extra step with the other foot, and an easy call for the official. Just the 6th turnover committed by Gretna East. Springer looks back to Chloe Schrader. 3 ball goes for Chloe Schrader. She's got 5. That cuts the deficit to 21 points. It's been all Gretna East today Pfaff. French out of the corner, can't knock it down. Backside board, Lindsay, one of the smallest players on the floor. She'll get called for the off-arm hook. Offensive foul goes on Sophia Lindsay. They'll face guard in the full court. They're towards the end of the first half. They had Sidney all out of sorts against the pressure. Sidney barely across the timeline, and immediately then another Lady Raider turnover. Gretna East will get a kick called against Sidney. Nice job by Justice Love, just kind of hesitated for a moment. That freed her up, and then she kept on pushing towards the rim, and then the kickball. Gretna East will inbound. Laramie Missigatis jumps the passing lane and comes up with the steal. Missigatis 1-on-2, shoots the three. Sure, she'll bank one in. Laramie Missigatis banks one home to make it 47-29.
Just on a few occasions we've seen Sidney get sped up, but only once, I think, in this third quarter.
French answers right back. Taryn French has 3 threes, gives her 9 points. All 9 of her points from long range. Nesbitt, Sidney in the backcourt. Laramie Missigatis uses up the dribble, throws it across the timeline to Nesbitt. Again, the pass up that far sideline. Into the corner now, Chloe Schrader dribbles into the paint, floats one up. I'm not sure if she saw the rim on the shot attempt, and here comes Gretna East. Lindsay, nice stop and pop in the lane for Sophia Lindsay. She's got 15 for the Lady Griffins. They lead it now by 23 once again. And walking with it is Chloe Schrader. That's 4 turnovers in the quarter, up to 15 now in the game for Sidney. 31 seconds to play.
Sidney needs to do a little bit better job on the defense. I mean, they allowed Sophie Lindsay to get clear into the paint on that last offensive possession, just not stopping the dribble farther out.
52-29, Wadsworth turns and faces. On the perimeter, right side, Lindsay will get them back into their offensive set. Shot clock game clock at 10. Final moments of the third quarter. Lindsay probing on the dribble, nearly lost it and then throws it away. Poor final possession of the third quarter for Gretna East. They've got a big margin though. Plenty of room to work with here for a mistake or two if they come for Gretna East. They lead 52-29. Schnell looks up the floor, couldn't get it to Schrader in time for a shot attempt. After 3 quarters of play in our Western Conference Girls Championship game, all Gretna East, they lead Sidney 52-29 here on our KNDB.TV YouTube channel.
Are you looking for the perfect place to hold a wedding, family reunion, holiday office party, or business meeting? Well, look no further. The Hampton Inn and Suites Hotel and Conference Center is just the place for you. We're a full-service banquet facility that can host up to 400 of your guests. Stop in and see our spacious open-concept meeting rooms and begin planning your special event or family gathering today. Let us do the work for you so you can enjoy your guests. For personal service, stop by the Hampton Inn and Suites front desk.
Tired of feeling stuck? Not sure if you are on the right track? Platte Valley Bank can help keep your finances moving forward with checking account options to fit your lifestyle and an online account chooser to make finding the right account easy. Control your financial future with helpful budgeting tools and automatic savings plans. Now is the time to enjoy the ride with Platte Valley Bank. You belong here.
And welcome back. Western Nebraska Community College, the site. This is the girls' championship game of the 2026 Western Conference Tournament. And Gretna East in control in this one. 52-29 is our score. And Sidney with the ball to start this 4th and final quarter. Boys' championship game to follow this one will be Gretna East and Scotts Bluff as Lily Weiser starts off the fourth quarter for Sidney with a three-pointer.
All 5 baskets in this second half for Sidney have been from the three-point line. No 2-point field goals, no free throws.
20-point advantage for the Griffins. Pfaff works with it out front. LaRock into the lineup. Go to Frederick. Frederick into the paint. The scoop falls for Lily Frederick. She scores her first points of the game. Here's the pressure from Gretna East, broken by Sidney as Laramie Missigatis driving, and she'll draw the foul.
You know, Jeff, we've talked so much about just the simplicity of ball handling over the last few days. The guard play for Gretna East is outstanding. It doesn't matter who's got the basketball, they can all handle it.
First free throw from Missigatis. Falls through. Missigatis can't convert on the second one. And here comes Gretna East the other way. Taryn French out front. Here's Wadsworth to Frederick. LaRock, right side, pass tipped in the air. Picked up by Sidney. Laramie Missigatis comes up the floor. French got a hand in there. Knocked that away. She thinks it should be Gretna East ball, and 3 more come in for the Griffins. Justice Love along with Shelburne and Sophie Lindsay back in. Lily Weiser with a 3 ball. That one comes up just a little bit short, but there's Jordan Schnell with an offensive rebound and a putback. And Sidney hasn't had a lot of that this afternoon. And it makes it 54-35. Shelburne picked up by Nesbitt out front. She'll drive into the paint. She'll have to get it out to Sophie Lindsay. Shelburne drives and dishes to get in the hands of Taryn French. She misses on the shot, but they've got a whistle away from the ball. And Kiara Schrader picks up her 3rd personal foul. And the inbound kick that will stay with the Griffins. Lindsay triggers it in. French with it. French to the free throw line. Bounces baseline to Pfaff. Back to French. Shelburne, top of the key against Nesbitt. Lindsay driving, dishing, finds Shelburne all alone, and Shelburne puts it up and in. 56-35.
Lindsay's been the best player on the floor today.
Nice job by the Red Raiders to break the press right there. They get it down low to Nesbitt. She gets it to Schnell. Schnell drives right side. Wild shot won't go for Jordan Schnell. Here come the Griffins the other way. They'll leave it for French on the left side. French goes cross court with the pass. Pfaff with it. Lindsay starts to drive into the paint, draws the foul. And that will be on Laramie Missigatis. Her second team foul. Griffins control. Shelburne looks down low. Inside. French kicks it out. Justice Love will drive baseline into the right corner. There's an errant pass. It's picked off as Laramie Missigatis gets into the passing lane. Free throw. We'll check that the layup won't fall, and then a little frustration from Laramie Missigatis as she fouls Sophie Lindsay as they come the other way. And it will be Gretna East ball.
Foul is on Laramie Missigatis, her 3rd, 13 foul.
And Missigatis has picked up, Laramie Missigatis has picked up 2 quick fouls here. 4:54 left in the game. Gretna East in control. Shelburne against Nesbitt in the paint. Kick it out. 3-ball on the way. That comes up short for Sophie Lindsay, but Shelburne there with the rebound. And a timeout called by Gretna East. It's a 30-second timeout. And we will keep it right here.
They look like they're just trying to run some offense, work the shot clock a little bit. You never know when you're going to be in a position like this where you're going to want to work the clock a little bit, make some teams work defensively against you. So an opportunity here for Gretna East in a game that's kind of just been around this 20-point mark for quite some time. They're able to work on some stuff that could come in handy for them later on this season. And on the other side, if you're Sidney, this is the type of game and the type of loss that will probably have you looking in the mirror a little bit to get locked back in for what should be another good stretch run to a season for Sidney Lady Raider basketball.
Yeah, like I said, this has been a definite 180-degree turn for this Sidney team. I mean, they're usually the team that's causing the turnovers with the pressure, you know, minimal turnovers, and we haven't seen that here this afternoon. That just shows you how good this Gretna East girls team is. Out of the timeout, French has it, drives into the paint, kicks it, left side, Love for 3. That won't fall. Rebound run down in the corner by Laramie Misigatis. She takes it across herself, picks up her dribble, gets it ahead. They get it inside. Jordan Schnell, her layup won't go, but Reagan Nesbitt, her putback won't fall. Nice pass. They get it ahead from Love, but Gretna East turning the ball over that time.
Yeah, through that pass over 3 Sidney defenders hustling back, and it was right on the money.
Graver and Frederick back into the Gretna East lineup. Pressure from the Griffins as Justice Love gets in the passing lane. And another Sidney turnover makes it 58-35. And back-to-back turnovers by Sidney, but then Gretna East returns the favor as they turn it over. 3:42 left, another Sidney turnover. Driving off the glass and in. That's Lily Frederick with 4 points. And it's now 60-35. Nesbitt in the corner for Sidney. Laramie Misigatis, right side, splits defenders, drives to the basket. Shot doesn't go. Weezer right there. She'll pull it out beyond the arc. A wholesale substitution on the Sidney side. Driving to the basket, and the shot by Jordan Schnell falls. And there's a timeout on the Sidney side at 60-37. And that's another 30-second timeout as we will see a substitution on the Sidney side. Sidney will be in Gering Thursday night. So a little bit of a short turnaround for Sidney and Gering. As we told you earlier that the Sidney-Gering game originally scheduled for Friday, but because they're having district wrestling in Gering on that Friday, that game has been moved to Thursday.
You look at this Gretna East team, Jeff. Lindsay, a junior. Love, a freshman. Shelburne, a junior. LaRock, a sophomore. Frederick, a junior. Graver, a freshman. Stutz hasn't played today. She looked good in a reserve role yesterday. She's a freshman. I mean, they're going to be around.
And they have the ball and the lead right now. Ellie Henn into the game for the first time. They kick it out, top of the key, and there's a 3-ball for Justice Love. And the lead expands to 63-37. Valerie Fiskus into the Sidney lineup for the first time. Springer back in, along with Ryland Misigatis. Shot from the corner won't fall for Ava Whitty, who's into the game. At the Gretna East end, Peyton Boone into the game. to Love. Here's Hen with it. LaRock, top of the key. Hen with it. Now they work it to the right side to LaRock. Near 2 minutes left in the game. Missigata sticks the hand in there and steals it away. Check that, Schrader with the steal. Schrader bounces to Springer. Springer left side. Back to Missigatis. Quick ball movement. 3 ball from the corner. That won't fall for Whitty. And the Griffins will come the other way with 1.5 minutes left in the game. Boone works it into the corner. LaRock. Freeland. Second teamers working around the outside of the arc. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Shot put up by Freeland that doesn't go. And the rebound down to Sidney. Chloe Schrader out front on the spin move. Fiskus goes to Springer. Valerie Fiskus run underneath 1 minute on this one. Schrader with a 3 ball that won't fall. Gets her own rebound, puts it back up. That doesn't fall. Battle for the rebound. Possession arrow gives the ball to Gretna East. Lainey Euler checking in for the first time on the Sidney side.
And another Ross girl.
Yeah.
Cadence Ross, a sophomore.
So everybody on the Sidney bench and the Gretna East bench getting a chance in this championship game as we count it down with 35 seconds. 63-37 is your score. Ellie Hen with it out front, finds LaRock. LaRock drives into the paint, but a foul prior to the shot. And we will not shoot the free throws. On the first on Ava Whitty. 14 foul on Sidney on the inbound. And we've got a 5-second call. And really the first big mistake we've seen the Griffins make. Shot clock is off, and the Gretna East Griffins will be the girls' champion of this 2026 Western Conference tournament. Sidney has it. Sidney will finish second. 3 ball on the way from Euler. That doesn't work. Putback won't fall. And Gretna East will come away with the win. Your final score, 63-37 is your final. The Gretna East Griffins are your 2026 Western Conference champions on the girls' side. We will take a break. We will come back, wrap this one up as the Gretna East girls win the 2026 Western Conference Tournament Girls Championship.
When it comes to your health, you deserve the very best. At Morrill County Community Hospital, they provide top-notch care with compassion and expertise. From routine checkups to advanced surgeries, their dedicated team is here for you 24/7. With state-of-the-art technology and a patient-first approach, they ensure you and your loved ones receive the highest quality care. Because at Morrill County Community Hospital, your health is their priority. Visit Morrill County Community Hospital today in Bridgeport. Morrill County Community Hospital. Exceptional care right here at home.
I would definitely recommend Allo's business services to other companies. Allo's next-gen firewalls have allowed us to tie 6 physical locations together along with numerous remote employees to produce and collaborate and generate content for our local radio group. It is very important for Nebraska Rural Radio Association to have the best in internet and phone service. We rely upon that every single day. Allo provided me with a solution that fit our needs. They have a quality product, great technical support, and a local presence in their community.
with you here. KDB.TV YouTube channel. Jeff, let's what's that?
Yep.
One more to go, says Gearing Activities Director Sean Seiler. One more to go with the Scottsbluff boys and Gretna East for the tournament championship. Thoughts on this one, Jeff, on the girls' side? Quickly, a dominant performance from Gretna East.
That's all you can really say, just a dominant performance by Gretna East. And, out in this part of the state, the Sidney girls are considered one of the top teams in the area. And they looked, a little bit pedestrian against this Gretna East team. But, we saw the Gretna East, they weren't, really pushed in the first game of this tournament against the Ascent Academy. And they, kind of took apart Gehring yesterday. And they just, I don't think this 3-day tournament has affected them at all. I mean, they were hitting on all cylinders even today.
Yep, and with the depth they show, and they can cycle kids in and out, and there's not much in the way of drop-off talent-wise. They stayed fresh. They looked outstanding and put a capper on it with an effort today. Like you said, frankly, look, some programs have some runs, but in my mind, the standard for Western Nebraska girls basketball for quite some time, in general, if you look at like the span of, say, the last 20 years, it's the Sidney Lady Raiders.
Yeah.
And they made them, like you said, look pedestrian today.
Yeah, they just really did. And, I mean, like I said, I think Sidney getting a little bit of their own medicine from Gretna East, where they're putting 5 in, and then they come back and bring in 4, and there's really no drop-off in talent when those, I guess you can't really call them second-teamers, come in, because there's really no drop-off in the talent.
Sophia Lindsay scored 15 to lead Gretna East. Maddie Shelburne finished with 12. 9 points each for Taryn French and Justice Love. We talked about how many of these girls will be back on this squad next year. So, hey, they're looking to make a run this year, obviously, but they're not going anywhere in terms of the future as well. Sidney, no one in double figures. Jordan Schnell led the Lady Raiders with 8. What we'll do here is step away for a few minutes. We will rejoin for boys pregame coverage for the simulcast, or at least the radio call will start on 107.3 The Trail here in just a little bit. And then we'll pick our television coverage back up a few minutes before tip-off. An outstanding boys tournament championship game on the way with top seed Scottsbluff and 2 seed Gretna East, a rematch from last year's state tournament when Scottsbluff pulled off a comeback win in round 1 at Pinnacle Bank Arena. That'll do it for our third broadcast of the day. We'll get going with game number 4